Welcome to this week's episode of Chaos. How you
Yes.
doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. It was a good week.
A little crazy week for me. I'm not going to
Yeah,
lie.
yeah. I think it's always a little bit crazy in our
hmm
lives, and that's the point of this podcast.
Exactly.
So, why don't we start with what was the most chaotic moment of your week?
Okay. Well, let's say last week, first of all, I got 2 calls for one kid from school.
Hmm.
Yeah. For my same kid, it's in intermediate or middle school, no, intermediate school, 11-year-old. Just two things after another. Compulsive behavior, trying to copy answers off of tests. Just not putting the effort into some things, which is not him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 in a row, same week. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? This is not the kid that I know." But it happens. It happens.
Did
So,
these calls come while you were at work?
absolutely they did because they are going to call when I'm at work. Like that's just the way that it works. And I'm see the number and I'm like, "I don't want to answer again."
I actually intentionally don't answer those numbers. I let them call my husband.
Well, the thing is, he won't answer either.
I know he does.
So I'm like, okay, I got to answer because I don't know. I go, this is something. Sometimes it could just be him calling because he got the phone taken away.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want to miss those calls
Yeah.
either.
I just listen to the voicemail first and then call back
Yeah, that's probably smart actually.
because then I know
So
what I'm walking into.
yeah, yeah. So we've lost our technology, our Oculus.
Okay.
We've lost our phone.
Which that is a punishment, but it's
hmm
also a punishment for you.
Kind of. You're right. You're so right. But what we've seen from it is he had testing this week and his scores jumped. His behavior has been much better. And so for him, I think what I'm learning, and for him, we're trying to teach him this too. Like, do you see the difference in you right now? Like what you're saying, your words, he's playing outside more. Although he doesn't like it, he does kind of see that.
Mhm.
So it was a learning lesson, and we're learning what we need to do with him because every kid is different.
Every kid is different.
Every kid's different. And then this week, I got a call 2 times for the youngest.
Nice.
So as a matter of fact, we were just about to record the podcast and I get a call from assistant principal from the elementary and get to go up there and go pick up my kiddo. But it's all a learning experience and we get to use it to teach our kids what we do different in this situation.
It's
So
also a really good opportunity to give them grace.
it is absolutely. And something really great that our assistant principal said to me just now was the great thing about this is that you are taking care of these situations now when they're in elementary instead of middle school. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you are so right. You're so right. And so
He's going to learn.
he's going to learn right now.
Before it gets hard.
Exactly. And so the Lord has just put some amazing people, administrators in our kids' schools, which I just feel like is just such a blessing because they are believers too, fortunately. And I got to sit there going very emotional, and then she just got like bring me down. Like, I promise this is normal. It's gonna be okay. And I'm like, thank you.
But that goes back to like what's normal. We just
Yes,
talked about
so
that
true.
last week.
That's so true.
It's not normal is
Exactly.
what we should start
They're
saying.
squirrely little 8-year-olds.
They're
And it's almost spring break.
And he's a boy.
And he's a boy.
Full of
So,
energy. So
you know, that was been fun. But what about you?
So for me, well, my husband was traveling. He was in New York this week. So that's always chaotic. Left services on Sunday, came home to no husband, no person to process with. That feels very chaotic. But then I think it was Tuesday morning, I was talking to my youngest, my 11-year-old, who by all definitions is a really good kid.
Yeah, he is. He's a
We've
great kid.
never struggled with behavior with him from the time he was like a toddler. Like he was so easy to correct. He's always been really good in school, which is a vast difference from my others. It's kind of always been a challenge with them, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. But
Yeah.
he's a little bit of a breath of fresh air, not having to have the same struggles as his older siblings. And so I was talking to him in the morning about how proud I am of him, of how good he's been doing in school. He's got a teacher that he is convinced does not like him
Yes.
and that he is not a super big fan of. And so I asked, how do you handle that when she's doing things that you
Mhm.
don't really like or
Right.
whatever? And he just said, I just put my head down and keep working. And I was like, that's so great. Like you have really good self-control. Like
That's hard.
that's hard to have
Yeah,
as an 11-year-old.
absolutely.
And so I was just telling him what a great job he is doing. And every morning when I drop my kids off, they say, the verse, "This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." And then I tell them, "Have a great day. I love you. Work hard, do your best, and be kind to everyone." And so I said that in the morning, like every morning. And I would say 3 hours into the day, I got an email about him playing around during testing and winding up his hand to do the flipping off hand signal with his ring fingers. To
Okay.
him, that means
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's not bad.
it's not bad.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I literally just had this conversation this morning of how great you are about self-control. So yeah, that was a pretty chaotic moment. And then I got to screenshot the message and send it to my husband in New York. And
Yeah.
like, this is what's happening right now.
And you're not here.
And you're not here to have the conversation.
Have fun at your dinner tonight.
Literally, have fun entertaining your client.
Yeah, that can be really difficult. I remember when Matt was at the fire station when he was on shift work, and it seemed like if something happened at school or a water pipe busted, I mean, whatever it was always when he was gone. Every single time.
Well, yeah, just 2 weeks ago, he was in Ohio and all my kids got the stomach bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not the throw up parent. I don't clean up, throw up.
Helen always a throw up parent, but she's afraid to even go to sleep because she might throw up.
Right.
Like,
I have a fear of throwing up myself. Luckily, well, this isn't luckily. This is kind of sad, but he had said his stomach hurt before going to baseball that week. And I was like, but you need to eat dinner. Come eat a couple bites, eat something. So he ate. My older son dropped him off and left baseball. And that's when he texted me about 30 minutes later, Mom, I threw up. And I was like, no. So luckily he didn't throw up where I had to clean it up. And then he came home and threw up again.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But then all I was thinking about was my fear of throwing up, which also is a fear of my 13-year-old, which, I mean, she's literally my twin. 100%.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out, how am I going to deal with her not sleeping all night? Because she's going to be convinced that she's going to get this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you're trying to convince yourself you're not getting it, but also convince her at the same time.
I'm doing all the things to not get it. Made him stay up in his room. And I'm like, great, husband's gone.
Yep.
This is so fun.
What always happens, I swear.
Yeah,
chaotic weeks, man.
Yeah.
And plus we have our full-time jobs that we, you know, things happen.
And that was an added pressure, I think, this week, just because we had some longer days, I think. And coming home super late at night. One day I told my kids, when they got out of the car, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have a night.
Because I got back so late that they were already in bed.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was great. The event was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change that. But
absolutely.
It's just, husband was gone, so they got tucked in by themselves.
Yep. Bye, I'll see you later tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. So this episode, I think we are just going to kind of talk a little bit about the chaos of motherhood.
I think that that's great. I think that there's always things that come up when you are moms. Had somebody message me this morning. They heard the first episode and they're like, I'm not even a mom, but I already love it. This is like so raw and real. And like, yes, right. Like, you don't have to be a mom. You don't have to be married. She's not married either. She's a young adult. And so I think that's really cool. I think it's cool that this is going to be going to so many different women. It's really just women. Like, yeah, we're moms. Yeah, we are married. But the cool thing about it is, whether you're a mom, you're married, you have insecurities. Whether you're a mom or married, you are going through some tough times possibly, or some really great times. And whether you're a mom or you're married, you are a woman, and being a woman can be hard sometimes. It can be really great sometimes.
Wait a second.
But like,
she said can be hard sometimes.
Okay, it is hard sometimes.
How old are we, Barbara? We are at the age where being a woman is so hard.
It's so true, y'all. It's so true.
Maybe we should pivot. I could talk about that whole topic for this whole episode. I had a conversation I had lunch with someone yesterday, and she's a couple of years younger than I, and I was like talking about perimenopause. I don't know how the topic came up. Don't ask me why that came up at lunch, but it did. And I started listing off some of the things that I've been struggling with the most. And it was like a light bulb went off in her head. She's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that's what this is from.
Yes.
Because the night sweats, I used to blame my husband. I used to say,
me too.
You are just so hot-blooded or whatever.
You're a little heater.
that you heat up, and I can't stand being hot when I sleep.
Mhm.
And so, in addition to your snoring and you being a heater, I'm not sleeping because you're making me sweat. And I don't even sweat normally in real life, doing things like barely. This is not a humble brag. Don't
No.
take it as this way, but I just, what's it called when they
Glisten.
I just glisten a little bit. I've just never been super sweaty. Thank you, mom. Like that was, my mom never
Must
was
be
either.
nice. Must be
And
nice.
so the amount of sweat coming out of my body. Right. And so but then he started traveling all lately. And I'm still sweating when he's not
Yep.
in the bed with me. And so
Girl,
I'm
it's
like,
you when ain't him no more.
this is not him. I can't actually blame him
Nope.
for this.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah.
And we're like, I had the worst sweats. Oh, me too. It's like a certain time. And I woke up sweating with all of my clothes wet. And
I had to
just
change
like,
clothes.
ugh,
Middle
it's
of the night.
awful. I always heard about it happening, but never like, oh, maybe I won't.
Right.
Or not this soon.
Right. I definitely thought it was like something that was like post, like
Yes.
after you went through menopause.
Like 50s maybe.
Yes.
But why? I don't feel like I'm that old. I don't feel like, why is it happening?
Why? And it's really funny because my husband also knows me to not be a sweater.
Mhm.
Like he just knows, like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're sweating it, right? So the other night when he got back, I like threw the blankets off in the middle of the night and he's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm sweating." And he's like, "You are?" And I grabbed his hand and I just put it on my chest and he felt like all of this is probably a TMI.
He's probably like,
That's what it is.
oh.
And he goes, "Oh my gosh, do you want me to get you a towel?" I said, "Please. Yes, please." And so he went and got me a towel. And then we talked about it the next day and he was like, "Yeah, that's crazy." And I said, "Mm-hmm."
Mhm. Yeah, we decided we need to get little fan heaters or what did you find like an AC
It's
that's
like
underneath your sheets or
yes,
something?
a bed AC that you put it under your blanket and
Yeah.
it blows air at
Here's
you.
my problem. I go to bed cold.
Yes.
So I go to bed and I'm like, I want to be cozy. I'm wrapped up in everything, and I like to have a weighted blanket too, but
I
because
had to stop using my weighted
I
blanket.
did too because I get so hot,
Mhm.
and so I'm like, what do I do now? What do I do now? I love the weighted blanket because it helps me feel like sleep better and
Yep.
sleep. I don't even know, but then I wake up and I'm literally drenched. It's like, come on, body,
I know. We need
get it together.
There's got to be a cooling weighted blanket out there somewhere.
I think they say they're cooling, but then it's still weighted. It's still heavy.
That's
So I don't know if you got any recommendations, let us
Any
know
tips for that?
because yeah, and along with that, I've had the worst brain fog ever
Yeah.
recently, and like I'm taking my medicine that I need, like my ADHD medicine, but I'm still just like I feel like I'm forgetting everything.
And
Everything.
you might not actually even be forgetting anything. But
Right.
you just feel like it.
Yeah.
You just feel like there's something lingering and you can't quite put your finger on it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And I feel like I can't get my thoughts like cleared, which typically would be like, oh, did you take your Vyvanse? Yes, I did actually, but I'm still
But can
so
you imagine
foggy.
without it?
No.
Because I actually didn't have mine yesterday. So I had my whole normal work day without my Vyvanse. I had to take a different one that doesn't work quite as well for me in place until I could pick up my prescription. And I was literally losing my train of thought in the middle of conversations because I had a coffee and a lunch yesterday. And in both conversations, I was like, yeah, my brain's not fully functioning today.
Yeah, literally. I always just really like to talk to women about ADHD and what that looks like because there's probably many of you that have maybe been on anxiety meds for a really long time, but still feel like there's something off or not right. It was me. Yeah, it was me in my mid 30s and continue to feel like I had zero joy and I couldn't figure out why. Like I couldn't remember what joy even felt like. Like I don't remember what it feels like. And I was like, I'm not going to live like this. It was like so sad. And I remember going to the doctor saying, I did research on my own and like, there's more. I don't just need more anxiety meds. There's something else is going on. Go to my doctor and she looks at me like I'm just trying to get pills. I will never forget that. I obviously don't go to that doctor anymore, but my mom was a pill addict. And so that is the last thing that I was ever trying to do, which made me super emotional and really pretty pissed off, honestly.
Yeah.
So I got to go to a psychiatrist who was amazing and got diagnosed with ADHD and started taking those meds. And like the way my life changed was so dramatic. I share with all the women all the time. And then tell them some of the same things. And I'm like, girl, I am telling you, you are ADHD. She's like, I don't know.
It took her a really long time to convince me. And here's the thing, I am like medication scared,
Yeah,
right? Like, I
absolutely.
am the person that does not take pain medication after having C-sections or major surgery because I don't like the way they make me feel. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like feeling loopy. I don't like feeling drugged. And so I've always been medication scared. And I have two children with ADHD. One of them I did medicate pretty early on until he asked to no longer take medication. But I didn't know that it could be hereditary. And
Yep.
I also didn't know that you could have ADHD and not have the H,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Because of
Yep.
that's how my son was diagnosed. I was like, I don't have endless energy.
Mm-mm.
That's not the way this
Wish I did.
feels. And so after talking to her and her kind of sharing more and realizing that I actually did have a lot of the symptoms, I guess you could say,
Sure.
of ADHD, I was able to look back to childhood and think my anxiety started so young. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I
Same.
used to take Pepto-Bismol before school every morning in
Yep.
kindergarten because I was so anxious that it was making me
Mm-hmm.
nauseous. And it wasn't talked about back then.
Nope.
But I also didn't know that anxiety was a like symptom
Yep.
or
It's like a bifactor from
from
your
untreated
yep,
ADHD.
ADHD.
And so looking back, I'm like, wow, it all makes sense
Literally.
now. But I still wasn't brave enough to try the medication. I
Mm-hmm.
still just was like, no, I agree with you. I definitely have it. But I still wasn't brave enough to try anything until I lost my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, mostly I wasn't brave enough because I was like, I've managed 40 years
Right.
almost without anything. I'm
Yeah.
fine. And then I lost my mom in May of last year. My whole world was turned upside down. And I started noticing things about myself that I didn't
Yeah.
like low impulse control. Couldn't not say what was going in my mind. I
Yep.
couldn't control my emotions. I couldn't control my brain. And so I just talked to the doctor and he's like, why don't we just try it?
Mm-hmm.
And so I did. Life changing.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think that I went into researching after our horrendous year when my mom died.
Mm,
And then Hayden had it. My youngest had an accident. And then my father-in-law passed away. Actually, I think that that's exactly when I started,
yeah.
which I never thought but think about that
Well,
before.
that's what our doctor was telling me. He was explaining that you can learn and create habits and things that work
Mhm.
for you to
Mhm.
manage it. And then masking and all of that. And,
Yep.
and you can live your normal life fully functioning with
Mhm.
ADHD and no medication. But when something completely flips your life upside down,
Yeah.
all of those coping mechanisms and all
Yeah.
of that masking just goes right out the window.
Yeah.
And then you're left feeling all of it again and not
It's
knowing
too
how
much.
to handle it.
Yeah.
And that's usually when people, are like, okay, got to get on
Yeah.
this.
I remember being young too, that I would have my stomach aches constantly when I was little. My parents would be at the doctor so many times and there was nothing there.
Hmm.
And I had no
Same.
idea, like, until I started learning more about anxiety and took counseling classes and stuff, that that's what it was the whole time. It's
Yeah.
like, man, it's, like, so not fair when you
It's
think
not.
back at it, and, I know our parents,
They didn't know.
they didn't
They
know
did the best that they could
that
with
they
what
could
they
at that
knew,
time, right,
for
what
sure.
they knew, and so and even doctors
Right.
didn't because they didn't diagnose women. It was just boys,
It was just
really.
boys.
Yeah, girls just it was anxiety or it was just, like, perfectionism, which I'll get with it, right?
Right.
People pleasing and all the
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I'm just so glad that now it's starting to be talked about more with women too.
100%.
And I think I tell women, especially if they're, like, afraid to possibly be on anxiety medicine or ADHD medicine, in your mind, the enemy is trying to tell you that you have failed.
Mhm.
That was me for a really long time,
Mhm.
not wanting to stay on my anxiety medicine. I'm gonna try to just get off of it because if I need this, that means that I can't handle it myself and I'm failing, which is always a failing that was a thing in
Mhm.
my life. And I have to tell women all the time that's not true. That is not true. That is a lie from the enemy. That does not mean that you're failing. That means that your brain chemistry biologically is off.
Well, and also, I am a natural person. I try to
Yep.
do everything as natural as I can to stay like my immune system. I eat the
Yeah, we
garlic.
try.
But there are certain things that you have to just take into
Hmm.
consideration. Sure, there might be a natural way to help. And I mean, as Christians, I think it's like absolutely God gave us everything we need to heal
Absolutely.
ourselves. God also gave us
Yep.
doctors and education and medications. But we live in a fallen world.
Hmm.
God created a perfect world.
Hmm.
It's no longer perfect.
Yep.
And so a lot of the things that the way he intended it to be
Yeah.
in our bodies to handle, it's not possible now
It's not.
because of there's things in our food, there's
Yep.
things in the air we breathe, there's just things in the clothes we wear. There's things that we cannot avoid that are affecting our bodies,
Mhm.
the makeup and all of that. And sometimes a medication is necessary
Absolutely.
because nobody wants to live under a cloud of
No. And you don't have
anxiety and
to. That's the
depression.
thing.
Right. And so I often hear the debate
Mm.
of like, but there's a natural way to do it. Just do it the natural way.
Mhm.
And I tried,
Absolutely, same.
and I still do things naturally when I can.
Mhm.
But with this, it was just like I'm only hurting myself
Right, and everybody around you.
and everybody around
Honestly,
me.
like, if you think about it, you're hurting your family, which is usually the one who gets it.
Right.
Our husbands and our
Mhm.
kids
Yep.
are gonna get the brunt of it.
And then Nyla Faith, my 13-year-old, was never formally diagnosed by a psychiatrist the same way
Mhm.
that my older son was, but she was struggling in school in first grade, and we had her tested through the school to make sure there was no underlying
Yeah.
things. And they just kind of were like, she's doesn't have any learning
Yeah.
disabilities. You see her having a really hard time focusing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay.
There it
Well,
goes.
but
Yeah.
I already knew that my older son had asked to
Right.
stop taking medication.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not going to medicate her. So whatever, we'll just handle it as best we can at home and at school, I guess, for
Mhm.
teachers. And so I never did anything about it. And then when I started talking to the doctor just this past summer before she was starting middle school, he was telling me about how, like, things like this in girls, it starts to show up in the way they view themselves. It
Mhm.
affects their confidence, it gives them anxiety, it makes them afraid to ask for help when they need
Yep.
it, all of these things. And
All the things of Nyla.
all of the light
Literally.
bulbs were going off. And I was like, okay. So I did ask her if she was willing to try medication.
Mhm.
And she said she was. And so we went through that process to get her on medication, and she started school with medication, and she came home from school. Mom, I raised my hand. I wasn't afraid to ask
That's so awesome.
questions. She's always struggled in language arts and with reading because of focus.
Mhm.
And then her teacher was like recommending her for advanced language
Yeah.
arts.
I remember that.
So she moved to an advanced language arts class after literally spending the first
Mm.
7 years of school struggling to even get a passing grade in a class like that.
Yeah.
And I just realized, I mean, there was a little bit of mom guilt. Like what would she be like if I would have started sooner, if I would
Sure.
have been open to it sooner? But seeing how she's kind of come out of her shell,
It's been
and
really cool to watch her.
it's just, I mean, I'm very thankful. Do wish I would have started a little sooner, trying not to beat myself up too
Yeah.
much about that.
Yeah. Just to
Yeah.
watch her confidence just completely change.
Mhm.
Like, not just at school, but, like, who she is and, like,
Mhm.
talking more and, like, she's just a different kid, and it's been really cool to watch that.
Yeah, it is. And I just I don't wanna say I'm an advocate for ADHD meds because that's going too far, but
Sure.
I do think that there is a place for it
Mhm.
if if needed. And so
Yep.
I'm medicated currently while we're recording this podcast.
Yeah.
So
Same.
there
Yeah.
might not be any rabbit trails on this one.
We'll see. You just never know. You just never know. I just think that it's sometimes medication become this, like, faux pas thing, and so it's good for us to talk about it because there's so many people, they're like, "I've never heard of that for women." Like, everything that you're saying is literally the things that I'm experiencing, and it can be so life-giving when you are just hearing something that's like, "Oh, I can relate."
Yes,
And now I know. Like, it's answers to a problem that you've had that you didn't even realize you had.
right.
And it's just life-giving.
Well, in your
So,
experience where you said your original doctor thought you were just like
yeah.
searching for pills or whatever, that was one of my fears.
Yeah.
And asking a doctor was like, I don't want them to think that
Mhm.
I am just looking for meds because that is not me.
Absolutely not.
I have friends I've heard of in the past, like back in my old days, people would take ADHD
Yeah.
meds just to have fun, to go have a good time, to give themselves energy so they could stay up.
Study for a test.
And I'm like, that doesn't sound like
Mm-mm.
something I want to feel. That
Mm-mm.
I that's not me.
Yeah.
And so I was really scared to ask. And then I didn't have to. He ended up
Yeah.
suggesting it to me because he realized what was going on in my
Yeah.
life, but that's exactly what I was afraid of, and luckily, he is very, very aware of the
Yeah.
symptoms in women,
Yeah. He's
and
really great. He's really, really great.
he suggested it to me, and I didn't have to ask.
Didn't even have to ask. So, Yeah, perimenopause, all the things.
Oh, that's
What
the other
else?
thing. Perimenopause affects ADHD.
I have been researching that too.
And so the symptoms of ADHD at an older age, so
Mhm.
35 to 55, I think is what I saw recently, is like it starts affecting you worse.
Yep, it does.
And so, like, you're in the same vein where we were talking about, like, you've navigated your whole life and maybe nothing life
Mhm.
changing has happened. You didn't lose a parent or you didn't have
Yeah,
some significant trauma happen. You're experiencing perimenopause.
your hormones are fluctuating
Mhm.
crazy, and so that's fluctuates the ADHD to be crazy. And I was researching recently too that right before your cycles, all your irritability and all of those things, all your symptoms are heightened even more, which I have been feeling
And my medication doesn't work during that time
so
for
much.
me.
Yes, that's what I feel like too. I'm like, I can't control my mouth sometimes.
Mhm.
Like, I can't control how I feel. I can't control my rage sometimes. I do, but typically it's at home, right? With our
Right.
husbands, our
Right.
kids.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, I think you're stupid right now.
Yeah.
Whatever you're saying coming out of your mouth, it sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Did you actually say that though?
Actually, I did tell Matt the other day, I was like, here's where I'm at. We've learned through our own marriage counseling to try to be more open. So he's not just guessing where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to be in my cycle and it's getting worse. Like, here's how I feel. I feel like everybody's stupid. Like, every thing you're saying doesn't make sense to me. And I just really just don't care. Just want you to know where I'm at right now. He's like, gotcha. Literally. And I did it. We were going to dinner. We hadn't been out on a date or anything recently. And literally, that's why I'm like, I just want you to know. I'm going to really try not to let this affect our dinner tonight, but here's where I'm at.
I think everything's stupid.
Literally. He was like, okay.
That's so relatable.
But then my daughter, now we can tell too, because she's me. For her cycle, she just stares at us with like a dead face. I'm like, how you feeling? Fine.
Yeah.
And I tell Matt, I'm like, what is wrong with her? And he goes, do you see yourself? She's about to have her cycle. She's you. I'm like, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine.
So I'm emotional. She's logical like her dad.
Oh yeah.
So my
She
boys,
too.
I feel like are not Hayden, but maybe the other two, especially Grayson. They're more emotional,
Yeah.
not logical. And I can't stand logical. Like I know we need it in our lives,
We
but
do. We do.
Ella's logical like her dad.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, do you have any emotions, girl?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until just recently. Matt was like, she's logical like me.
Yeah.
So unless it's something that really matters to her, she's like, that's stupid. Like, not that big of a deal. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not a big deal?
Well, then he needs to work on
He does.
teaching her
Yeah.
how he's learned
And he does. He's
to
really good at that.
bring the emotion even when it doesn't feel
Yes.
like a big deal to her.
So a lot of times he goes in for combat
Yeah.
because he gets her.
Yeah. He gets her and
He gets
can
her and
speak on that
he
level.
yes, he can stay calm and he can speak on that level and get
Mhm.
down to where she's at. And then I'm like, what'd she say? And so he can now come to me so that I don't go like lose my mind on her.
Yeah.
So we're learning.
Last night, Nyla Faith came up to me, not up to me. She came into the living room. I was working on a puzzle and Gary was in the vicinity, not actually working on the puzzle, but sitting near me about to,
Yeah.
but I didn't really want to help. I wanted to finish it by myself, that dopamine, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, and she's just sitting there and her phone's about to go on screen time. And she's just like, my phone's about to go on screen time. And I'm like, well, that means it's probably time for you to start winding down for bed. She said, this is the most boring house. I said, well, what would a non-boring house have? Games and stuff. I said, we have puzzles, we have diamond art, we have all kinds. Do you even know me? That is not what I like. Okay, cool. Well, Gary, we're no longer going to respond to Miss
Mhm.
Attitude over there. She's cranky. She's got her stuff going on. So we're just going to do our thing. She's like, I'm not cranky. I'm sorry, ma'am. What do you call that then?
Yes, exactly. You know what this is.
She literally thinks our house is the most boring house, but then just wants games.
Yeah.
She doesn't play games.
Yeah. I'm like, what does she actually want then?
That's what I don't understand.
She wants you to entertain her.
What does a non-boring house have? I asked her, I said, do you want to work on a puzzle with me? The puzzle I'm currently working on is so easy for her. Like
Mhm.
it's to me, I call it a cheating puzzle. Gary doesn't think
With
it's
the numbers on
cheating.
it.
It has the letters on the
Oh yeah,
back.
the letters.
And so this one is like 8 mini puzzles because it's got 8 letters. So I'm like, it's really easy for you to finish this little section. which might make you like think this is cool because it'll happen quickly. It's
Yeah.
like faster gratification,
Yeah.
right? Not instant, but
Right.
faster. Well, I don't like puzzles. Okay. Would you like to do diamond art? We can do diamond art. And it's like, I'm trying, but nothing is going to make you happy. What
Yep.
you really want is for me to add time to your screen time
Mm.
so that you can talk to whoever you want to talk to.
Exactly.
And I'm not doing that. Go to bed. Bye. Go to bed.
We have no food in this house. There's no food in the house. Nothing.
Oh, if they only knew.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like,
I
you
grew
have,
up in a ingredient household.
Yeah.
Not a snack household.
Right.
We had ingredients to make food, but we didn't have
the snacks you can just go grab.
snacks. Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't tell me we don't have food.
I'm like, there's no food. Okay, that means you don't have a Lunchable to go grab right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you can, like, making lunches is like, go make your lunch. We have no. I'm like, we got peanut butter jelly, we got ham and cheese, we got all kinds of fruit, we got goldfish, we got all these things, but we have no food. Oh, because you have to make your own sandwich.
Right.
No.
Or
don't do it.
Or we don't have food means we don't have Takis.
Yes. We don't have what I want.
Mm-hmm.
What's easy to grab.
I hate Takis, by the way. They're like the
Yeah.
bane of my existence.
I don't eat them. They're disgusting.
They're disgusting to me as well.
So gross.
Did you grow up in an ingredient household before I move on?
Yeah.
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 And not that there's anything wrong with it. My dad was a chef briefly, and so cooking was always a thing in our
Yeah.
house. So like my dad primarily was always cooking the meals, and we had things to take for lunch, things that were only for our lunch.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have them any other time.
Yeah.
And so we never went without food, but it was just not like my friends had the Slim Jims and the chips and the soda and all of these things. And I never had any of that.
Yeah.
So I ended up being the mom now that has all of it.
Yeah.
I overbuy all of the snacks. We have Cheez-Its, we have Goldfish, we have Oreos, we have different flavors of chips, multiple kinds of them. We have string cheese, we have meat sticks. We buy more snacks than we do actual food, I think.
Yeah. Funny thing for me is like half of my life was like more ingredient when I would live with my grandparents, kind of back and forth. But then when I was the 15, this is a story for another episode of my life. I was adopted by my aunt and uncle. And so they had all the things, like the baskets of candy. All my friends want to be at our house because trick every night with the baskets of candy and like snacks all the time. But we never ate it because we saw it all the time.
Yeah.
It was just,
that's kind of how my kids are now.
Yeah. We didn't eat it. And so people are like, how do you not eat all this stuff? I'm like, because it's just there all the time. So I think we kind of like our happy middle here.
Yeah.
Like I don't overbuy things. I buy for the week typically.
Well, yeah, same. But I just buy too many options.
Yeah.
I have too many options for them.
And sometimes I do, but typically I feel like I'm like in that middle, even though they don't think so.
They still tell me we don't have anything good. But I do ask them. I'll tell them to tell me what they want on the list because I'm not going to buy another box of Cheez-Its if this week you're not going to eat them and you want Pringles instead.
I don't understand. I know.
Okay, so what are some things that you think that if you can think of anything that either you said you would never do as a parent or that your parents did or what your adoptive parents did that you have gone so far the opposite or have done exactly the same?
Oh my gosh. I probably couldn't think of two right off the bat. One is I said I would never make my kids hamburger helper. And I'm telling you right now, I finally cracked like a year ago because groceries got so expensive.
Oh my God.
So expensive. And I made hamburger helper. It was like their freaking favorite meal.
It is.
And I'm like, okay, this actually is kind of good. But they eat in seconds. Like, Mom, why do we have this more? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But hey, you know what? It is what it is. It's cheap and it has a meat and a dairy maybe. I don't know. But yeah. The other thing is I hated having to have my drawers straight. Socks in the right drawer, underwear folded. Like if anything was out of place, it was like big deal. It was not a thing. You could not have things out of place. We want our house to look clean, straight, and all the things. And like nobody's seeing my drawers. But now I have to do everything in me to not go look in their drawers when they're even hanging out and stuff because I don't want to do that, but I still have gotten onto them.
Time out. You go into your kid's room?
I do. Every now and then, not very often.
I avoid it like the plague.
But I want them clean too.
I don't want to see what I don't see. Can't have
I know. But even like, I know. But my drawers, freaking hot mess. They're horrible. It makes Matt crazy. but I don't know how to do. I don't know how.
That's the ADHD. So that's how, okay, this is a tangent, but we'll get back to this in a second. But with ADHD, it's like visually what we see, what is actually present
Yeah.
needs to be
Yes.
aesthetically pleasing to the eye for our
Yes.
brains to not feel chaos. But what's in a drawer or behind a closet door,
Or in our own rooms.
yeah, like if it's not going to be seen, it doesn't exist. It's not there.
Yes.
Why I don't go in my kids' rooms anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a while to get here. I'm not going to lie. I have 4 kids now. So
Yeah.
getting to the place where I didn't have to took some time. They're all at the age now where it's like, you live in there. If that's what you
Yeah.
want it to look like, cool. And there's also things that I will not accept,
Yeah.
right? Like
Sure.
if your room is a mess and you want to do something or X, Y, and Z, and nope, your room's a mess. Sorry.
Yeah. You're not gonna have food in there either because I'm not having bugs.
Oh gosh, the food. I have an 18-year-old that has a lot of.
I'm like, no.
Always has food. He's got like a shelf that he just has his own snacks and
Gosh.
drinks on.
Ugh.
I've given up that battle too because if you want bugs in your room,
Yeah.
that's on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's another thing I like am really trying so hard to not be like, that's on the ground. Piece of paper, pick up your shoes. Like as soon as I walk in the door, I'm so bad about that because it's like loud noise to me.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my life was very messy and didn't feel clean. And so it's a big time trigger too for me. And so I have a really hard time with dishes in the sink or just clutter or whatever in the spaces where I'm walking in the house.
Yes.
It's just like I can't calm down.
Nope.
But then I don't want my kids to feel that either.
I
So
know,
it's so hard.
I can't relax.
I can't either.
And so it's like one of the things that I've told my husband and my children, there is literally one thing that will make me feel happy and at peace.
Yeah.
And it's so simple. Just keep the house clean and tidy.
Yeah.
If I come home from work,
Yeah.
and everything's in its place and everything looks nice, you're going to get the best version of me.
Absolutely.
If I come home and there is chaos everywhere, I am going to complain about all of that chaos. What would you rather hear?
Right. Right.
Me complaining about all of the things that are making my brain feel overstimulated right now, or me happy and asking you how your day was? I would love to be able to shift that somehow. And I think doing what I said, where I don't go upstairs, I don't look what's in their rooms, has fixed that a little bit because it's like you can have your mess, you can have your chaos, you can live your life. I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
But down here where I hang out needs to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So one of the things that I used to say I would never do as a parent, literally when I say this, guys,
there's no judgment here.
Don't judge me.
No judgment here.
And if you are somebody who used to do this and that I said this about, I'm so
really decided to see what's about to come out of your mouth.
Sorry. Well, I was a nanny for a long time. And I thought that I knew everything at 18 years old being a nanny. Okay. I used to say a couple of things. My kids will never eat McDonald's like that. My kids will never drink soda. And the video games and screen time is not going to be a thing. All 3 of those. McDonald's.
You just start waving the white flag.
Literally. McDonald's. Like, I love McDonald's, guys. Their French fries are the best.
You got 4 kids. You eat cheap.
They have those meal deals. And you can just get a drink, a burger, 4-piece nuggets, and a small fry. And it's $5.
I know.
$6.
Can't beat it.
A family of 6 eating on that, guys. Please. Okay. So that was something I said I'd never do as a parent. The soda. I mean, to be fair, I think my mom started soda with my kids first. It was like, oh, just let me give them a little drink. And I was like, fine.
Yep.
And then screen time. When you have children, and for a long time I was a stay-at-home mom, it was like, if I can go take a shower and turn on this TV so that I can have a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm throwing in the towel. You can have the screen.
Yep. Yep.
And punishments. I think taking devices and games away is always my last form of punishment, even though with certain children, not all of them, certain children, that's the most effective way of disciplining them. But it's a punishment for me.
It literally is.
You know, I think that my youngest is 11 now, so it's a little bit different. He mostly plays the Oculus or his Xbox if he's going to do screens or something. However, when you take that away and that's like their outlet, I
Yeah.
really started thinking, what if somebody took puzzles or books away from me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There is a happy medium. I honestly haven't gotten to the happy medium yet. Not
Yeah.
gonna
It's
lie.
hard.
Most of the time on school nights, my kids do come home. They get a little snack, they put their stuff away, and then they go on the game.
Mhm.
But I think about, what do I do after I get off of work? I want to do what helps me unwind too.
Decompress.
And so who am I to say you can't get on the video game right when you get home from school
Yeah.
because you need to do something stimulating to your brain?
Yeah.
Well, when I get home from work after a long day, what I want to
It's
do
the last thing you want to do.
is decompress and do my puzzle
Yeah.
or read a couple chapters in my book.
Yeah.
That may not be, I mean, if there's a child psychologist listening or some, that's probably wrong. It is probably not accurate. But you know what? In this season, it's working.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
think it depends too. What we're finding is that we were doing the same exact thing. Same exact thing. But what I'm finding is that it's gonna be so different for every kid. Like
yeah,
Grayson can get on it and he's fine. Or Ella, she is fine. But what I found with like Nate and Hayden, it is affecting their behavior. Uh, because I think that their brains work like mine. They're super fast. Their brains never get a chance to
that
slow
was
down.
Kaysen.
And so it's affecting them during the week. So what we've gone to just recently literally is there's no technology for you during the week, but on the weekends you can have that.
Yeah.
Go play outside. Now that it's nice right now. And they will go play a baseball outside. It's like so much better. I'm seeing the way they talk to each other, all those things. But yeah, it's hard. And it's hard to stay consistent with anything too. Like spring break is next weekend. Is that going to be? No, they're going to be able to be on their devices.
We're going to be at work all week.
Right. So it's like, what do you do in that
Don't mind me.
situation? So I think it depends on the kid, right?
does.
On the situation.
It does, because
It's all
Nate
relevant.
and Hayden are a lot like Kaysen.
Yes.
Kaysen also, I mean, he's 18 now. So while I technically still do have control of him,
Yeah.
because he lives in my house and all of that, and he's still in high school.
Yeah.
I don't, that's not something that it's not I pick my battles, but he was very much like that when he was
Yeah.
younger. And we did take it away, and it also worked in the same way you're seeing it work with Nate. That's not Daxton.
No.
Daxton is not, like, if I tell him I'm going to take the video games for some reason, then he'll immediately just fix whatever it
Yeah.
was, because he's just not this. His brain isn't wired the same. And
Yeah.
then Nyla Faith doesn't even play video games. She does use her phone.
Yeah.
To text friends, and screen time, and me having control of that is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because I can just pause anything, and mostly she's just texting or calling. She doesn't have access to like internet or
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
I also found Nate was like becoming addicted. And so I think also if it's a possible ADHD situation, you are more prone to hyperfixation and
Yep.
addictions. And so it wasn't becoming like he had rage if he couldn't play. I'm like, this is a problem now.
yeah,
So we're gonna cut back. And then I started affecting school. Every kid's just so different. You gotta watch your kids. You gotta see what works for them. It's trial and error. So
did I ever finish saying all my
you said McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
You said
Screen time.
games
Oh,
and
yeah.
soda.
soda? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Then I finished that. So, and then something my parents did that I thought I would never do, but now I am doing, is exactly what we were just talking about with cleaning. So
Yeah.
when I was growing up, my dad literally walked around with like I call it a dust buster. Is that what they're still called?
Yes.
One of those little handheld
Yes.
vacuums. He always had one of those, and he was
That is so
vacuuming
funny.
every speck of dust everywhere, which he's not like that anymore.
But you are.
His older age, he has gone to the point where he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then I would come home from Sunday school on Sundays, and my mom would be hand waxing the wood floors.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's like we always had a very tidy house. My room was never tidy.
Yeah.
I always got in a lot of trouble for a messy room, but I was like, I'm never going to make my kids clean and keep things clean.
Mhm.
So that's never
Mhm.
going to be a thing.
Now what? It's a thing.
It's a thing, and I am crazy about it. And it's funny because my sister's the opposite. Like, she went the opposite direction. We lived in the same household, and now she's like, I don't care.
Yeah. It's so weird. That's also like the noise in your brain too.
That's true.
For you, it's noise and it's loud and it's
Yeah.
overstimulating.
It is very.
And so that's probably like the why behind it for you,
Which maybe that was the why behind it for my dad.
Yeah.
Because my dad's
Absolutely.
ADHD. He doesn't know it. He's never been diagnosed.
Oh, he
but
100% is.
He's 100%. Dad, if you're listening, I love you, but you definitely have ADHD. And I think I tried convincing him of that last time he was around, and he's like, I've made it my whole life. I'm almost
Yeah.
70 years old.
Yes.
So
It was so funny.
I'm like, great, I'm glad.
But
But
he's
just so
super
you know,
fun.
you would probably care more.
Yeah, I've told my mother-in-law that
Yeah.
multiple times, and she's like, "I don't understand what you're talking about." I'm like,
Wait, is she ADHD?
I swear she is.
Really?
Yes,
I love your mother-in-law.
she's amazing. She really is. She is, absolutely amazing, but man, sometimes I'm like she's like, "What was I just saying?" Or she's driving.
She needs to come teach us the line dance.
I know, she's line dancing, she bowls, that woman. I mean, I just hope and pray that I am as energetic and as busy as she is when I'm
What's her
her
secret? Have you
age.
ever asked her?
No, I think she just likes to stay busy.
Yeah.
And so she worked her whole life in education.
Mm,
And so really didn't get to do anything that she like really wanted to do. She had 3 kids and um full time, mom too. And so I think once she retired, her kids are out of the house, her husband passed away. And so she just found new friends and got busy
yeah.
and she loves it.
Where does she get the
I
energy?
don't know.
Because
I
I want
really
that
don't know.
energy.
Somehow she's like a little energizer bunny.
She really is. I wonder if it's like something that happens like post
Maybe.
menopause. You know
Yeah.
what I
You get
mean?
energy again. And like, as long as you keep moving.
Because I feel like, I mean, I can't compare my mom anymore, unfortunately, but my aunt,
Hmm.
she's my mom's sister who is very close in age, like they're a year apart. I watch her sometimes and she's like sending pictures how she's completely redecorated
Yeah.
something and completely do and I'm like, where do you find the energy for that sort
Well,
of
I think
thing?
too, when they're retired,
That's
like if you
true.
think about like when we're on vacation for even just like a couple of days,
Yeah.
we're rested again and we have this energy to like reorganize and like clean out
Yeah, that's
closets
true.
and like we just don't like have that very often.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that when I get home every
Yeah.
day.
They've already been through the kids stuff that season.
That's true.
So yeah.
I don't even like to go out in public.
I know, literally. Literally. Like I don't know. Only reason I'm getting ready on Fridays now because we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
So like I don't
Listen,
look homeless for you guys.
one day, one day we'll just show up.
I know. Hey guys.
Oh, you just did it again.
What?
Hey guys.
Oh, don't cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Okay.
That we were doing like a
Like a mom.
test episode
Yeah.
like one time, not an episode, just like checking mics, seeing how it all was. And she said, "Hey guys," and that always takes me back to this moment where Dexton, I think he was 5.
So cute.
And I'm gonna share the story because it is so cute. You can still find it on the Call to Chaos TikTok page. It's still there, so go look at it to see this
Mhm.
video. But he had my phone and he had the camera turned on and he's walking around and I just hear his voice and he's like, "Hey guys." And he's walking and he's walking. "This is my mom. This is my mom right here." And he comes over to me and I like lean my head in the camera. And he goes, "And my mom is super pretty because she loves me and I
I
love
love
her back. Love
her.
you, mommy." And so every time I hear someone say, "Hey guys," that's exactly what I think about.
But man, like he even almost still sounds that way though. Like his little sweet
He's
voice.
the sweetest
He
little boy.
is.
He loves his mom. He's a mama's boy through and through.
I love it so
My
much.
older boy is not a mama's boy.
Yeah.
He's not an anybody's boy. He's not a daddy's boy. He's not a
Not
mama's boy.
anybody's boy.
Like literally, he's always just kind of marched to the beat of his own drum. He's his sister. He is
Yeah. I
a
could see that.
Tai's boy.
Yeah.
And that probably stems from her being like the closest person to him
Yeah, I grew up together.
at that time. And also like there was a season where I was pregnant with Nyla Face
Mm,
and high risk.
yeah.
And I stayed home. And so I literally couldn't do anything with him. And he's
Yeah.
like 4. And
Yeah.
so it was a stand-in. She was, 5 or 6 years older than him and just played with him.
Yeah.
Like
You
actually
can still see that to this day, the way they
played.
interact with each other.
Oh, 100%.
It's so awesome.
She's like the best sister to him.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love that.
And so he's the Tai's boy, not a mama's boy, not a daddy's boy. He loves us. Don't get me wrong, but
But at that age, it's like mom and dad don't really know anything yet. Maybe he'll start to get there, you know?
he will eventually. He does. If you catch him
He's very sweet to me. I love him.
at church, he loves me to death.
He does.
And he'll hug on me. And I'm like, "Jason, I have got to go talk to people. You
Yeah.
got to stop hanging on me
Mhm.
right now."
Mhm.
And it's like, I wish you would be like that at home.
I know.
Come do this at home. Come snuggle me at home. But
Mm.
no, he wants to be up on the phone talking to his girlfriend.
Yep.
Not girlfriend, the girl he's talking to.
Yeah.
They're not girlfriend, yeah, whatever. But they're going to go to prom together. So yeah.
We'll see. See how that goes.
And then Nyla Faith's to daddy's girl, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think something we want to do at the end of our podcast is just to see where God's been working. And
Yeah.
so, even in the midst of the chaos,
Do it.
like God is showing up in different places. And I think you sometimes in some seasons you have to really try to see it,
Yeah.
But what we do know is that God is always going to show up in
Yeah.
some ways, whether it's small or big. And if we just open up our eyes, we can see it. So, Helen, what is one way that you feel like God's shown up this week for you?
So this week it's easy for me
Yeah.
because as you guys have already heard a little bit, Nyla Faith, my 13-year-old, is a lot like her mama. She wrestles with anxiety. After the stomach bug situation, she had shared with me this Tuesday morning, or maybe it was Monday night, that she wasn't sleeping. She was like, I keep waking up shaking and scared that I'm going to throw up. And I'm like, okay. And then it dawned on me, I'd been memorizing a Bible verse, John 14:27, and I had to share it in our like Bible verse group chat that I have, a video of it. And so I shared that verse with her. I was able to share that verse with her so she could start memorizing it. I sent her a little screenshot. I told her to download the app that I use. And so Tuesday morning, when I was dropping her off at school, she said her normal, "This is the day the Lord has made." And then she said with me John 14:27, which John 14:27 says, peace I give you, my peace I leave with you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. And so she has started saying that. I told her to say it in the middle of the night when she was feeling that, or even to just read it until she had it memorized. But she was like, I'm going to memorize it. And so she's started adding that to her
I
little
love that.
morning routine, just to help her. And I just thought, man, she is a lot like me. She's a lot like me with those fears and those anxieties and that noisy brain, but she's also like me in that way, that she's
Yeah.
willing to combat it and do the work to fix it. And
Yeah.
so I thought that was really
That's really
special.
cool. Yeah.
What about you?
I think with Nathan, the 11-year-old, him having so many, just some different issues at school, I think just really possibly kind of just not getting with a good crowd and like forgetting who he was, honestly. Last year was so great academically. He's such a smart kid, but I think he's kind of just gotten lazy and forgot. Like it was easy for me. Now it's a little more hard because we're in fifth grade. It's a transitional grade,
Oh, yeah.
right? But after a couple of calls to mom from school and us just really talking about who he is, how God has made him, his talents and abilities, and it's all just a lack of not putting effort in, and it's all there. And so I think this past week he was able to see that through the growth in his some testing scores that he had. He came home, he called me before he even got home. Mom, guess what? I'm like, what? Like, guess how many points I went up? And then he told me. And so for all the tests he took, so he's really proud of himself, but not only that, but I got to praise him and see, bud, this is the Nate that I know. This is the Nate you know. Like, look what you put the effort in. When he's very much an encourager, he thrives on that. And so when he feels that, or it's like, oh, I did good, like that motivates him. And so I think that was really cool just to watch God show up in that because I'm like, oh man, I can't have him not remembering who he is, being lazy or giving up. And that's not what happened. So he truly got to see that and like, oh, okay, I do like this feeling. I do like being smart. It's okay to be smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think a lot of times at school, it's like, if you're the nerd, you're smart or whatever, it's not a good thing they like to say sometimes. And we always tell our kids that is not true. That is not true. If you play sports and all the things, that means you can be smart too.
Right.
You can still be smart.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to see.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. We would love a follow on whatever podcast platform you're listening this to, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts, even YouTube. Also follow us on all of our social media handles.
Yep. You'll see all of our posts
And
share.
episodes will be dropping every Friday. That's the plan for now.
Yep.
And so if anything changes, we'll let you know. But until next time,
Thanks for hanging out with us on this episode of Called to Chaos.
and if this episode made you laugh
or made you feel just a little less alone,
share it with a friend who's also living in the chaos.
We will see you next time.
Bye,
Bye, friends.